Have you ever wondered how you would cope if you lost your spouse? Life is unpredictable, and the loss of a partner can leave you feeling empty and directionless. But what if there were ways to not only survive but grow after such a profound loss? In this video, we'll share the inspiring stories of 3 individuals who have journeyed through this difficult path and share the most valuable lessons they've learned. Discover how you can find strength, independence, and happiness after experiencing a life-shattering loss. Life, as Miyazaki once said, is like a ship sailing through uncharted waters. Everyone who boards your ship is there for a reason, but not everyone stays for the whole journey. When someone has to leave, it's essential to be grateful for the time they spent with you. If you're fortunate enough to have someone stay with you throughout your life, that's even more special. Having a partner in your youth and old age is a blessing, but not every love story lasts forever. Some partners leave this world early due to illness or tragedy, leaving a void in the lives of those left behind. Yet, time marches on, and the departed won't return. When your spouse dies, you have to heal yourself and, continue to live a fulfilling life. 3 individuals share their personal stories to guide those who have lost a spouse. They explain 3 crucial things to avoid if you want to live a peaceful and meaningful life in your later years. Immersing in excessive grief. Losing someone who has been by your side for most of your life is devastating. The grief is profound, and memories can offer both comfort and deep sorrow. David's story exemplifies heartbreak and resilience. At 68, he faced the unimaginable loss of his wife and found himself questioning how to continue without the person who had been his life partner for so long. David reflects, "When my wife passed away at 65, I was completely lost. For months I couldn't function. I would sit in our empty home surrounded by memories and wonder how I could go on without her. But I began to realize that she wouldn't want me to live the rest of my life in mourning. Slowly, I began to find hope in the small things and started to rebuild my life." David's story is a powerful reminder that while grief is natural, immersing yourself in it for too long can prevent you from moving forward. Healing takes time, but it's essential to focus on self-care and living well in the present. He eventually found new meaning in life by staying connected with friends, taking care of his health, and finding joy in small activities. For him, healing was not about forgetting his wife, but about honoring her by living a life she would have wanted him to have. 2. Over-relying on children for emotional support. Have you ever wondered what life is like for elderly parents living with their grown children? Does it bring comfort and happiness, or does it lead to unforeseen challenges? Mr. Andre, a 66-year-old widower, shares his story of moving in with his son after the passing of his wife, only to later decide to live on his own again. His experience emphasizes the importance of maintaining independence in later years. After his wife's passing, Mr. Andre believed it was natural to rely on his son for emotional support. "I thought living with my son would help both of us. We could support each other, and I could help with my grandchildren. But after a while, things changed. Little by little, my presence became more of a burden than a comfort. We began to argue about small things, like how the house should be run or how to raise the children." Andre's story is a cautionary tale about the complexity of intergenerational living. While living with grown children may seem like a practical solution, it can strain relationships, especially when independence is lost. Mr. Andre eventually realized that moving out and living alone brought him peace and fulfillment. He rediscovered his passions, started painting, and began to enjoy his own company. For him, solitude was not something to be feared but something to be embraced. By living on his own terms, Mr. Andre found greater happiness and independence. His story serves as a reminder that while family support is valuable, it's essential to maintain personal autonomy and pursue activities that bring joy and purpose. Are you considering finding a new partner or remarrying in your later years? Before making such a decision, Mrs. Andrews' story offers a cautionary perspective. At 64, Mrs. Andrews thought she had found companionship after the passing of her first husband, only to face new challenges and heartbreak. Mrs. Andrews reflects, "I met my second husband at a local gardening club 2 years after my first husband passed away. We were both seeking companionship, and it felt like we could help fill the voids left by our spouses. But we rushed into marriage without fully considering the complications that arise when two lives with long-established habits come together. Things quickly became difficult. Her second marriage was strained by conflicting daily routines and differing expectations. Her new husband had a very different lifestyle, and blending their lives was far more challenging than she had anticipated. What she learned was that remarriage later in life can come with unexpected difficulties, especially when you haven't allowed yourself the time to heal fully from the loss of your first spouse. Unlike younger couples, older individuals often have deeply ingrained habits and viewpoints that make it harder to adapt to a new partner's way of life. Mrs. Andrews' story illustrates the emotional and practical challenges of blending families and adjusting to new lifestyles at an older age. After a year of constant tension, she and her second husband divorced. She realized that it might be better to remain alone and focus on her own happiness rather than rushing into another relationship. The stories of David, Mr. Andre, and Mrs. Andrews show that while the loss of a spouse can be incredibly challenging, it's possible to find strength, joy, and fulfillment again. By avoiding prolonged grief, excessive dependence on children, and rushing into new relationships, you can create a rich and meaningful life after loss. One of the most important keys to moving forward is maintaining your health and engaging in activities that bring you happiness. David focused on his well-being and gradually began to find peace. Mr. Andre discovered the joy of independence and new hobbies. Mrs. Andrews learned the importance of taking time to reflect and heal before pursuing another relationship. Another valuable lesson is the importance of building a new support system. David stayed connected with his friends and found comfort in their companionship. Mr. Andre joined social groups and rediscovered his love for painting. These activities helped them find a new sense of purpose and connection. Cherishing memories while moving forward. Memories play a crucial role in healing. Makoto found solace in looking through old photos of his wife, cherishing the happy moments they shared. Though grief is natural, it's important to find a balance between honoring the past and looking forward to the future. By cherishing positive memories while building new ones, you can move forward without losing touch with the love you once had. Embracing independence and looking to the future. The stories of these men emphasize the importance of living in the present and finding new sources of joy. Whether through maintaining your independence, taking care of your health, or discovering new hobbies, there are countless ways to create a fulfilling life after loss. David's resilience, Mr. Andre's newfound independence, and Mrs. Andrews' hard-earned wisdom show that while grief is an inevitable part of loss, the human spirit is capable of remarkable renewal. Even after the most significant losses, there is a path forward that includes joy, meaning, and connection. In conclusion, life is precious, and every moment counts. By making thoughtful choices and focusing on your well-being, you can thrive even after losing a spouse. Embrace your independence, take care of your health, and cherish the memories of your loved one, while also opening your heart to new experiences. Life doesn't end with loss. It's simply a new chapter. With resilience, self-care, and a positive outlook, you too can find strength and happiness after the loss of a partner. What are your experiences? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to check out our next video.